What's good, everyone? This is Artist of Truth coming to you with another vlog entry on this wonderful, magnificent, and warm Thursday afternoon. So if you're at work or if you're at home with your feet kicked up, chilling with your loved ones or your lady or that special, that special man in your life, I want you to keep in mind, take advantage of this opportunity. Look at your loved ones, that significant other of yours, and let them know just how special they are, just how much you appreciate them, and how much you love them. It goes a long way. On that note, let's go ahead and roll into the conversation, the topic of the day. So, a brother from another mother that goes by the name of Derek Jacks had a post. I don't know quite how old this post is, but I felt the need to chime in on this post. Basically, he asked the question, was this gentleman wrong in, in what he felt and his statement. So, basically, two people are dating. The woman mentions that she is saving sex for her husband. And the guy is completely, he's cool with that. Then he also mentions that they should always go Dutch for dates because he's saving money for his wife. Okay. The woman points out it's not cool that he's not taking her on dates just because she doesn't want to have sex. He mentions that's not even the case, but clarifies that just like sex, finances should be reserved for marriage. All right. So, of course, you already know I'm very, very vocal. I'm outspoken. I try my very best to be fair. So, let's go ahead and be fair. Do I feel that this individual, this brother, is wrong for having a standard set for himself? No, he's not. He's not wrong at all. Going Dutch, there's nothing wrong with that. The society of today, is just creates this narrative about, well, if a man takes a woman out on a date, then he should always pay. That is the gentleman thing to do. And hold on, I'm sorry, I just have to do this because this fuzziness is not my thing, so I apologize for that. But I don't feel personally anything is wrong with a man and a woman going Dutch, because be mindful, these two individuals, they're not in a relationship. They are taking the necessary steps to get to know each other in order to determine whether or not, hey, I want to spend the remainder of my time and my energy with this man, or I want to spend the remainder of my time with this woman. Now, I read some of the comments that were coming from predominantly sisters. I didn't come across any Caucasian females that disagreed or even agreed with the gentleman wanting to go Dutch. It was a lot of sisters that were, on this whole tip about, well, he's being petty, or you take a woman out on a date, you should pay for the date, and this, that, and the fifth. But it makes total and complete sense, because a woman can have standards. And I respect a woman for having standards if she, if she chooses to hold out on having sex. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, to each his own. But to chastise and ridicule a man because he has set the bar and, for himself, to say, what, I'm not going to invest money into a woman that possibly I might not like, I might not even want to be in a relationship with. getting to know a person takes time, you know. Um, Going out to a cafe, sitting down, going Dutch. There's nothing wrong with that. Plus, not only that, I've heard so many sisters out in the world screaming for equality and everything, and I feel like, hey, there's nothing wrong with equality. But if you're going to scream about having equality, guess what? This comes with it. You know, if a man decides that he wants, that you two should go Dutch, it shouldn't be an issue. You know what I'm saying? It appears to me that it's an issue for those women that are just selfish. They're cheap. They want things to go their way. And if it doesn't go their way, it's an issue. You know, it's an issue. And the first thing they want to do is blame the brother. All right, so stop that. You know what I'm saying? Because not only is that selfish, but it's unattractive. You know, it's very, very unattractive for a man to take a woman out on a date and then she feels some kind of way because he wants to go Dutch. Now, also in this, within the same conversation, I personally feel that sex should not equal to, oh, if I'm shelling out money, I want some ass, because me personally, I've taken ladies out on dates with the intention on getting to know them. But also, my money is my money. I work hard for my money. And just like a woman's time is valuable, my time is valuable. You know what I'm saying? So if I decide to come out and say, hey, let's go Dutch, it shouldn't be an issue. But for the most part, any man will come out and say, hey, let's go Dutch. It doesn't make him less of a man. It's just saying, hey, I want to make sure of who I'm getting involved with, who I'm investing my time and I'm spending money on, because sometimes you can go out here, take a woman out on a date, splurge, take her out to the nicest restaurants and in order to get to know her. And my thing is, that is whack as, to me, that's whack as fuck. Because you can sit down with a woman and you can pick her brain and you can allow her to pick your brain. That is a date. You know what I'm saying? That is an actual date. In today's society, we have really and truly gotten away from, dating and what dating really means, what it's really and truly about, because you have some women, they're looking, they want to be taken out on a date, but some ladies, they want something for nothing. Their time is valuable and they feel a man should have to pay for their time. And I understand how some guys feel, because personally, my time is valuable. If I'm going to invest my time and my energy trying to get to know you, then hey, respect that. Respect the man's time. It's in today's society, it's just like the woman's time is valuable and the man's time is just blah, which that's very, very, that's selfish. That's shallow thinking, and I'll be the first. I'll tell any sister, I'll tell any woman, I'll call her out on the shit. That's very, very shallow. I read some of those comments, and some of those comments coming from women of color were very, very embarrassing. They were really and truly embarrassing, because oh, he's being pig, he's being petty, he playing, tit for tat. I was like, no, it's no tit for tat. It's just a man having having standards, Like, shoot, no man wants to go out and buy a woman, spend his hard-earned money on a woman only for her to really and truly not have genuine and sincere interest in him. And that does happen. You understand? That does happen. Now, I understand there are some guys that feel like, oh, well, shit, if I'm spending money, you need to give me some of that ass. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I feel like, nah, there's no need for that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're being genuine and sincere and what, your intentions and how you feel, she might tell you. She just might tell you, well, I'm waiting until I get married. But then next thing you know, she could easily, she can easily turn around and say, well, you know what? He's a pretty cool guy. I'm feeling him. I'm digging him. Let me go ahead and bust this open for him, just for him. Some women, I've learned that some women, not all, they will actually tell you one thing and then they'll do something else entirely different, But for the most part, it should never, it should never seem as though a man has to pay for a woman's time, because as one of my constituents would say, if a man has to pay for your time, that's prostitution. Yeah, that's prostitution. And, I had to think long, I had to take a few minutes to myself and just think about what was being stated. And I was like, man, that's something, because if you approach a streetwalker, the streetwalker really she's not gonna have an extensive conversation with you. Even if you go into a strip club, if you are talking to a stripper, guess what? That's her time. She wants to get paid for that time. You can't go out here and talk to a streetwalker and be holding her up. Her time is valuable. She's gonna tell you one or two things: either step the fuck off or pay me so we can go ahead and get this done, so I can go ahead and give you some ass. I was like, wow. And it makes perfect sense. If you are capable of removing your emotions from it and thinking about it logically, it kind of makes sense. It really does make sense. Even though I understand there are some sisters out there that feel entirely different, but you have to take your feelings out of the equation and think about it logically, and then ask yourself, you comparing the comparison, there's is so much similarity. But in closing, there's nothing wrong with going Dutch. Me personally, I don't feel there's nothing wrong with going Dutch. Have I went Dutch before? Yes, I've went Dutch before. Even, there were times that I even paid for the lunch, or I paid for the dinner, even though I knew she had the means and she was taking her card out or her cash out to pay for her food. I still went on ahead and paid anyway. You know what I'm saying? Not because, that's the gentleman thing to do, but I do it because I feel like, hey, I don't mind. When you are secure in yourself and you love yourself and you love your people, you don't have a problem doing for others. You don't have a problem doing for others and expecting nothing in return. And in today's society, everyone is looking for something. They want something in return. If they put something out, they feel like they must have an immediate return, rather than saying, you know what, I did my good deed, or I was kind and considerate towards this individual, It's like our elders did that towards each other, for each other, and now in 2019, it's like that's so taboo. It's like, oh, we can't do that. Going Dutch. If a nigga got to pay for my time. A nigga got to pay for my time. Well, I see. If a man has to pay for your time, I see exactly why some men are expecting some ass in return. Oh my God, something's in my eyes, driving me nuts, Okay, that's better. But I see exactly why some men feel like shit. Hell, if I got to pay for your time, what am I gonna get in return? Like, you make it seem, and it is honestly right, because you have some sisters out here, especially these young ladies, they come out and just blurt out, oh, you got to pay for my time. If you want this ass, you got to pay for it. But you telling me you're not a prostitute, you're not a hoe, you're not a streetwalker, but you telling the society, the world that we live in, that a man must pay for your time. So if a man has to pay for your time, that is prostitution talk. So think before you say certain things, my sisters. I understand some of you are not like that. If this shit hits home for you, then apparently your mindset needs to change. Your mindset needs to change. And once your mindset begins to change, then you will discover that men who approach you will be more willing to getting to know you. And furthermore, if they take you out on a date, they won't even be expecting as in return, because they already know, okay, I'm digging her. She's not out here saying that I have to pay for her time. Then hell, I don't mind investing a few dollars, to getting to know her. I think Pimp C, if I'm not mistaken, I think Pimp C also said that. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay. You got to pay to play. You got to pay these women for their time, to get that ass. But if that man doesn't have the intention on, any sexual favors, he just really and truly wants to get to know you, you have to take under consideration how valuable his time is. And if you value his time as much as he values your time, then going Dutch would never be a problem. It would never be a problem at all. You might pay for your own dinner, you might pay for your own dinner, your own lunch or whatever. And then the following day or the following week, he might pay for not only his lunch or dinner, he might end up paying for yours. But I am mindful that some women possess that mindset that they feel they are entitled to something. But my thing is, if you haven't put in the necessary work, and I don't mean walking around here looking sexy and all that. No, we're talking about real work. I mean, sitting down, having these conversations, these deep, intimate conversations, picking that man's brain and allowing him to question you and pick your brain to find out whether or not you two are on an even playing field. So, in closing, just enjoy your day and get out of that mindset. Please get out of that mindset. Change that. You know what I'm saying? Dating should not be viewed as prostitution, whereas a man has to pay for your time. If he has to pay for your time, what does that say about his time? because his time is just as valuable as yours. And for those sisters who disagree with me, that's fine. Leave your comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it with someone else that needs to hear this. In the meantime, in between time, y'all have a great day. All right. Enjoy your weekend.